Hi guys, what's up, Mindless Entertainment? My name is Jesse Milestone, and yeah, I'm a Game of Thrones fans. I'm a Game of Thrones fans. I'm a Game of Thrones fan. And this is Viserion, in case you couldn't tell. I hand crocheted him with the instructions in the yarn that my friend got for me. Yay! I also have the kits to do Rhaegal and Drogon. I figured I would do Viserion first because, well, he did. And if I messed him up, it would be less important. So, not that Viserion isn't important. He is so cute. Anyway, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones today because Season 8's coming out. There's a thing that's happening. Viserion's going to talk too. By talk, I mean just exist here and try and hopefully be not in my face too much. Sorry, tangent, off topic. Anyway, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8 because it's a thing. Do you guys care about my opinions about Game of Thrones? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you them anyway because this is my channel. I talk about what I want. So I figured today we would talk about the big questions, the who's gonna live, who's gonna die, who's gonna live, who's gonna die. Anyway, so I've been a Game of Thrones fan since well before the show. When the books started to take off, I started reading them. Enjoyed them a lot. I actually held off on the show for a very, very, very long time. I only got into it about a year after the season that surpassed the books because I just got sick of not knowing how a certain cliffhanger resolved. The cliffhanger, of course, sorry guys, if you're a person who's like, I've only read the books and I don't know anything that's going on in the show, I'm about to ruin everything. The books end with Jon Snow getting stabbed and you not knowing whether he's alive or not, and so I got sick of not knowing whether or not he was dead. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Before we actually get into the discussion of who lives and who dies, there's an important note. Let me see if I can find get him perched on my shoulder or something, right? There's an important note for me about the way that the show has gone, which is, he's getting in the way of my hair flippies. The show has changed, not just in its plot and some of the direction it's taken, but in its approach. It has changed drastically from the formula of the books. Right? The whole thing in the books, the beautiful thing about the books was you never knew who was going to bite it and when. There was no rhyme or reason to it. Somebody that was just set up to be a pivotal character could just get roasted the next second. And on the show, and this is a lot of it's a business decision. Let's try you on this shoulder. Let's see, because I was realizing I want this hand to do this. But you're perched better on the other shoulder. So just give up on the dragon. I won't give up. I refuse. Anyway, so obviously when you're making a show, you have business decisions. You're not going to hire a big major actor to be like, here's the character that you're just going to kill off in a little bit. Which is why I think they've taken certain characters out of the mix, like Quentin Martell, who was one of the Martells, obviously. I'm pretty sure it was Martell, who went over to Daenerys to meet the dragons and be like, and try to woo her and be like, I am worthy of your affection. And he was like, I will prove this to her because the dragons will love me and I will just go into the dragon's lair and they'll love me. And so this big pivotal character you have set up as like one of the major players in the bid for power, goes down to the dragon's lair and the dragons just roast him and he's dead. Surprise! He has like a little tiny arc. He is in and out in one book, there and gone. So that's the way the books were. The show, of course, has certain considerations like which characters make us the most money. We can't kill Jon Snow because then he'd be dead and we can't have Kit Harington anymore. A lot of the theories in the books were that he was going to work his way into Ghost and he was just going to be alive but as Ghost. Well, Kit Harington's not a wolf. So whether or not that's actually was the intention in the writing of the books, it's never going to come to fruition, on the screen for obvious reasons. So that was a big sort of thing for me going through the post-book seasons, is it got to be a little predictable in the sense that characters felt safe. In the true form of the book, somebody would have ate it during that big council they had. Someone would have ate it. Probably a lot of people, possibly Cersei. Someone would have ate it during that council. That is for dang sure. So in terms of who's going to live and who's going to die in this season, well, the world's a little more wide open since it is the last season. You're not having to worry about, future contracts. Everyone's in, everyone's on board, everyone's watching this season. You have to worry about pissing people off, having people be like, well, I'm not watching any more seasons after this one because my favorite character died. So, they can go full, Harry Potter, Battle of Hogwarts and just axe whoever they feel like, whenever they feel like. So based on that, I have a few notions about who's going to make it all the way to the end and who is not. Bronn, guys, sorry, I don't think Bronn's going to make it. I do not think he's going to make it. It's sort of, he's an interesting one that he makes sense to have lived this long by the books, because there's some of those characters you're like, who are you and why are you still alive against the odds? So he's one of those against the odds characters, is still alive. He has no reason to continue existing, and he's become a fan favorite, so they can kind of do a twofer and be like, we're going to get back to form and just hack him. I have a feeling that we're going to see him just get totally off somewhere early on, and the way I would think that the best way to see him do it is we've already started to see a little bit of change of heart from Bronn, in terms of him going from like the, all I care about is money and me, to saving Jaime Lannister's life for no apparent reason, for no personal gain, which of course personal gain always comes from things like this. But it was a moment where he put his life at risk to save Jaime. So I think what I would like to see from that character is he has that change of heart. He becomes that like, I can do things for the good of people and not just for myself. Passes up that opportunity to retire to his castle with his beautiful bride, whoever that may be and wherever the castle may be, in favor of the greater good, and then gets off like the first major spit of action after that. That's what I think would be great for Bronn. Now I think there's a lot of pairings that are not going to see happy endings together. I don't think Jaime and Cersei both live. I think they're going to give that one to Jaime. I think they're going to kill off Cersei. I just think it's one of those things like Joffrey. They build so much towards you wanting to kill him, and I think George R. R. Martin does like to give you that catharsis at some point. So my money is on Cersei losing it and Jaime sticking around. Now you also have Daenerys and Jon. I don't think both of them are going to make it till the end. I really don't. For whatever reason, I'm seeing theories now that they're going to end up pitted against each other after they defeat the White Walkers, because the whole, the Dance of the Dragons, tearing the, realm apart and all that stuff. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think that one of them is going to eat it. It probably should be Daenerys, but it would more likely be Jon. I think it should be Daenerys. I would like to see it be Daenerys. I think that'd be interesting. I think it'd be against logic a little bit. But it would bring up some interesting questions, because you have Jon now being sort of one of the heir apparents to the Stark house, but obviously, as we know from season 7, he's also an heir to the Targaryen throne. So you have an interesting thing if Daenerys goes and he's the last person with the claim to the Targaryen throne. I think that makes things a little more interesting. So I think by that, Daenerys should die. Daenerys should absolutely die. I like Daenerys. I think she's a great character. I think she should die. For the good of the story, for the interest of the story. I think Sansa's gonna die too. Sorry, Sansa lovers, if you're out there. The Starks have had it rough the whole time, and if Sansa goes, especially if then Jon is either dead or dealing with a split load of the Targaryen, once he finds out he's a Targaryen, you have the situation where there are no true Starks left. Yes, Arya is a Stark, but she has a higher loyalty now to the faceless god. Bran is a true Stark, but he has this loyalty now to the forest and the job that he's doing as a three-eyed raven and whatnot. So you're losing the last person who's really like, whose first priority is House Stark, and I think that the Starks have gotten done dirty since the beginning. I think you're going to see that happen. I do think Sansa ain't going to make it dead. I think Varys lives. I think he's the kind of character that's like, George R. R. Martin was going to write anything aftermath, anything later on, in that. Varys is a guy who just is always going to come back. He's just never going to die. He's always going to come back and back and back. Wait, is he dead already? Did they kill him? Maybe they killed him. I can't remember. No, they didn't. I don't remember. I don't even remember if he's still alive. Pretty sure he's still alive. I think he's alive forever. I think he just lives forever. I think even if we thought he died, he's not. He's just never dead. He's alive forever and ever and ever. No, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Anyway, sorry. Sometimes you can't keep these things straight. I was having a moment the other day. I was like, wait, Grey Worm died. No, he didn't die. He looked like he died, but then he wasn't dead in the next episode. But Selmy did die, which was sad, and he's not dead in the book. So all of this stuff, all the people's going to die. I think Tyrion lives too. I think Tyrion makes it. He's a survivor. As Game of Thrones is definitely partial to your cripples and your uglies and your deforms and whatnot. And I think the Hound makes it. I think Tyrion makes it. I think Bran makes it. All your broken people are going to end up coming through this not in one piece per se. I mean, Tyrion's already lost half his nose. Bran has use of his legs, the Hound half his face. That happened before. So that's all going down. The mountain, zombie mountain at some point is going down. Actually, what I think should happen to the mountain is that he gets turned. Like, he gets turned into one of the, because he's already basically the reanimated dead when they face the White Walkers, that he gets turned into one of those. How terrifying would that be? We already have a dragon. Now we have the most powerful sack of meat on 2 legs. So here you go. Deal with that, good people of Westeros. I think that what's his face, Jorah Mormont is gonna live at least long enough to see Daenerys die. Because, like I said, I do think she's gonna die. I think he lives at least long enough to see her die, and then probably goes on one of those like suicide into battle rampages. But I think he definitely lives long enough to see her die, which will be really sad, and we'll all cry. Come on, let's face it. This show is gonna go for as many tear-jerking moments as humanly possible. And I'm not sure that both the dragons live. Maybe Drogon dies with Daenerys. Maybe the last thing that happens, maybe that's how this show ends, is Jon Snow inherits Westeros with his dragon Rhaegal. Maybe that's where it goes. That would be an interesting, that would be an interesting and good plot twist. I think Jon is like kind of secretly the main character in a lot of ways of a lot of this. Has become so more and more. He's always been an important focal point. Another sort of broken character. The bastard, the fatherless son. So to have this our most important bastard in the series be the one who ends up with all of the power, I think would be, very in keeping with the direction of the show. So those are my big ones. Lives, dies. I think Arya lives. I don't know if I was clear in what I was saying earlier. I do think Arya lives. Yara. Yeah, that's a big question right now because Asha Greyjoy. Her name is Asha, so screw you renaming because we can't tell the difference between Asha and Osha, and Osha's freaking dead anyway. It's Asha Greyjoy. I think she lives. I think she makes it out of whatever nonsense is going on there and ends up having a pivotal part. This is a discussion I would like to have. Asha is one of the great representatives. There's so many incredible women in this show. Disney, if you want to understand how to write strong female characters correctly, take a lead out of Benioff and Weiss and George R. R. Martin for that matter. Because Game of Thrones presents such a beautiful cross-section of the different types of strong women that there are. And I think Yara is such an important one in a lot of ways. I don't know if she makes it to the end of the season. I think she survives this entanglement with Euron. I don't think she just is off. I think they've been leaving her out of the trailers on purpose, to leave that up in the air because you have the whole, Theon being like, I'm going to go save her, and everyone being like, Theon, she's dead. Come on, she's dead already. And we love to do that in Game of Thrones. Tell you someone's dead when they're actually not. Because the thing with Game of Thrones, unless you watch them die, they're not dead. And even if you do watch them die, they might not be dead. See Jon Snow. See in the books, Catelyn Stark. So all of these potentialities, right? No, Yara does not die by Euron's hand in that situation. Does she die later on? Possibly by Euron's hand. Later on in like a later battle towards the end, maybe it's possible. But I don't think she dies by Euron. I don't know if Theon's the one who successfully rescues her. Maybe, because she and Daenerys bonded a little bit. Maybe Daenerys is the one who ends up rescuing her. I don't know, but the point is I don't think this is it for Asha. So those are my big ones. Those are my big takes. What do you think, Viserion? He agrees. What do you guys think? Who lives? Who dies? Am I dead wrong on everything? Should I just shut up and never talk about Game of Thrones again? Because, oh my god, Jesse, you talk about Star Wars. You're not allowed to talk about anything but Star Wars. Nah. So let me know. If you like this if you like this button, press the video. If you like this video, press the like button. There's a video popping up that says get involved with me. That'll give you things like other ways to get in contact with me, social media links, t-shirts. Guys, get the Fifi's t-shirts. They're so cool. And just other stuff. So if you like this channel and you want to help support and see it grow, click that, share the video. All of your interactions help so much. You guys watching helps so much. You're amazing. I love you all. Bye-bye.